Baseball is dead.
So is your wrist. Rest in peace.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? What do you mean? What do I mean?
I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Feeling pretty good?
Yeah.
How's that co-pilot doing? How's that other guy doing? Oh, I saw it. What do you got? You got TV tape on? You got TV tape?
I got what is it? Painter's tape? Just been doing some painting.
Yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That wrist is that wrist taking a should I say taking a beating? Is that what's happening?
It's been given a beating. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
I know what you're up to. I know
what do you mean?
How long has Roman Anthony been in the big leagues? Let's start there. Just a quick little poll.
48 hours-ish?
48 hours. Last time I saw you, last time we saw you, you did not have a dry jack brace on. But now you do. Yeah. Now you do. And I've got a pretty good idea of what's happening. And I mean, do you want to share with the class?
I mean, listen.
Yeah, we're all ears.
Once upon a time, a great philosopher said, "The math ain't mathin'." You know, there's once upon a time someone said the math ain't mathin', and that guy was pretty damn bright. And I feel like that's where we have to start today, right? Jayhay? Like that's a, you know, I don't know. There was a broadcaster for the A's. There was a catch. That was made by Denzel Clarke.
We can get to that. I care about the physical well-being of my dear friends. And anytime,
thumbs up.
Yeah, no, that's just one. Give me two.
Yeah, don't thumbs.
Have you seen it? It's what is that? What is that?
It's thumbs up.
You just
brother.
get done fucking going rounds? You just get done working the fucking speed bag? What are you all taped up? Look, I know shit's not going well right now for the Sucks, but is this a matter of you
fucking won
just
last night? What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, overall, look, you have, what are you guys, 500 with the new guy?
Yeah, we're 1-1.
Just fucking starting Roman Anthony skin fires trying to revive this fucking team over there in the corner. I know what you're up to.
Listen,
Roman, fucking Roman, 470 foot high, to the promised land, Roman!
It's 497 actually, 497 feet. Yeah. Just trying to make sure you don't shortchange my guy.
Sorry.
It's an exciting time. Jake, how you feeling? How you feeling after the Roman Anthony call up?
You probably noticed I haven't held up either of my wrists, so that's how it's going for
me. See? A man of integrity, Jared. That's what it looks like right there. I mean, we can't see it, and that's a good thing, but that's what integrity looks like.
Sure, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, Jake's nothing with, if not the most honest person that I've ever met in my life, so I trust him with my life. What we can't trust, though, is this catch probability stat, apparently. I don't know. I saw discourse on Twitter this morning, and Dallas is just harassing members of the sabermetric community who are just out here trying to do their jobs and provide context to baseball fans far and wide. If you don't live on the internet, then you have an excuse. But if you have an internet connection, you've seen the Denzel Clarke catch. Which occurred 2 nights ago, Dallas?
2 nights ago.
Where's my phone? Oh, it's right here. Duh. I had just had the clip queued up. The call. I know it's hard to show a catch on a podcast, but the call says it all in terms of how exciting of a catch it was.
And this one to center field. Denzel Clarke on the move back after he stepped.
Oh my God!
He makes another catch.
Oh my God!
Back-to-back weeks where he wins the Electric Play of the Week, and he's already on the leaderboard for this week.
You go ahead and book it. I've heard the list. I've seen the list of the greatest catches you're ever going to see in your life. If you don't have room for this one on your list, we're watching 2 different sports. I mean, Denzel Clarke climbs the ladder and then hangs out. You want to talk about playing above the rim, folks. This ball is out of the ballpark by 5-6 feet. And Denzel says, Nay, nay. Give me that back.
Can we talk about his first step being in?
That's crazy. I mean, it actually is crazy. It's crazier to watch it in slow motion. And then there was a photographer. I wish I knew the name because I would give them credit. Shout out to all the baseball photographers out there that create these great shots. But Denzel Clarke is jumping for the baseball over the wall, and his left leg is parallel with the top of the fence. His left leg is parallel with the top of the fence, and his right leg is above the wall. That's how high he got up there to make this grab to bring back a home run. And that's our very own Dallas Braden on the call with Jenny Kavnar on NBC Bay Area. And Dallas took to Twitter to say, to wage war against the catch probability metric, because this catch in particular had a catch probability of 95%. And I know, you know, we all know Dallas has a tremendous bias for his A's. But a 95% catch probability is one of the more outlandish things I've ever seen in terms of how things are viewed metrically. So you got into it with the gentleman who created the statistic?
I did. And that individual's name, or that individual's handle on Twitter, is Tango Tiger. And
doxing.
Jayhay defending the nerd community. And the reason I tell you his name, number one, is because of how much respect I do have for these data analysts. Like, I am not one of these new aged commentators, old school baseball players who doesn't want the information, thinks it's ruining the game, doesn't appreciate. I am the farthest thing from that you can possibly be. And I think if you've listened to the podcast, my friends understand this, the people I work with understand this, because they get surprised when I'm talking about shit that they don't understand. Because they look at me and go, why do you know that? And why don't I know that? How does that happen? And I can appreciate that. But go follow this individual first and foremost, because we're talking about one of the game's most foremost leading authorities when it comes to advanced metrics and contextualizing our sport in ways that dumb rock throwers like me just never thought about doing until folks like this guy showed up and started doing it. So it's very much appreciated. But when I saw that, I tweeted out, I said, I've checked the numbers, and the numbers are indeed not updated. This was 22 hours ago, which tells me they actually believe their metric is fair and complete. I will at no point ever reference the catch probability with any seriousness ever again. Pretty embarrassing, to be honest. If you have to preface the metric with, well, if you ignore the fact that the metric doesn't factor in X and also Y, and sometimes Z can change things, well, your metric sucks. That was my statement. And he responded with, thank you for your comment, Dallas. This is a metric I developed. And when I read that, I was like, oh, fuck. All right, here we go. Like, you want it from the horse's mouth? You fucking got it, pal. Here he is. And he said, unfortunately, we are beholden to whatever the tracking can tell us, and how high the ball has been tracked is sometimes very good and sometimes not. So we end up with a situation of, what do we do here? And also, or he said, and so, without the reliability of the height of the ball, we are left with, is the wall an impediment, which forces all wall balls into the same bucket of plays. So what he's saying is a ball at the wall, a ball near the wall, a ball over the wall, above the wall, on the other side of the wall. Those balls get treated just like a ball caught at 300 feet, not really close to the wall. And he said, if that is enough for you to say nope to all wall ball plays, that's a fair choice. So what he is acknowledging in that moment, I'm not going to say admitting, what he's acknowledging in that moment is that balls, or wall balls as they have categorized them, are imperfect. And the metric does not do a great job of giving you the proper readings of what that catch probability probably is. So that's not a hand up moment. That's just him saying, I can see what you're saying. I understand. And I responded with, number one, I thoroughly appreciate your work, because I do. Understanding that this is an instrument used to analyze a fielder in free roam mode, it does become an incomplete metric for me. If the ability to read a catcher's sign / hitter's swing is a skill that is factored into this formula, I simply cannot imagine not factoring in the skill required to track a ball while the fielder simultaneously factors in distance to the wall, the height of that wall, and then timing a jump and meeting the ball at the absolute perfect moment to prevent a run. The metric makes sense if we're playing in Yellowstone Park, although I'd still ask you to adjust for the herd of buffalo you'd come across. But we have walls in every park that vary in height and angles. So a catch made over the wall in the outfield in foul territory cannot be properly rated. So now we have multiple catches that can't be properly rated. Asking a viewer to ignore those variables and to just imagine the fielder running in a wide open field with zero impediments feels wrong. And I said, if we played baseball at the Bonneville Salt Flats, this would be a perfect metric. For those who are unaware, the Bonneville Salt Flats don't have walls. You just fucking run forever. Forever. So it was, and he responded with like sort of quoting a portion of my statement there and said, asking a viewer to ignore those variables and to just imagine the fielder running in a wide open field with zero impediments feels wrong. And he said, one small point. We do have a wall adjustment, but it's a blanket wall adjustment. That aside, I agree with your point. Which is why we don't publicize catch probability for wall balls, other than the folks who screenshot the research tool, which is what I did. And he said, the seasonal numbers were obviously value added. Individual plays need greater care. This is true of batting, pitching, and running too, by the way. So a very civil back and forth, very understanding on both ends. And I did later on the broadcast make sure that people understood that I appreciate this work, because this helps if you're an old school baseball fan and you didn't have this kind of stuff to kind of put into perspective what some of your favorite players were doing at the time. It's fun to go back now and maybe be able to apply this kind of stuff in whatever model you can that we understand is going to be imperfect, but it can help you just give a little insight. And he even said that, you know, guys like Indy Chavez and guys like Jackie Bradley Jr., who never even won a Gold Glove, hopefully they'll be able to be revered and remembered for the elite defenders they were, because these metrics can help contextualize what they were doing on a night in, night out basis. And I think that it's important that we as a baseball industry understand that it's not an old school, new school versus nerds battle that we're fighting here. This should be a battle that we're fighting together, because if the ultimate goal is to make the sport better and it's to make the players better, we have information available to us that we never had before that can help do that. You know, I couldn't imagine, like, just think about this. Sandy Koufax, big hammer, also a good curveball, good fastball. Like, imagine him throwing a bullpen and being able to go, oh, you know what? I don't know. That one felt a little different. Now Sandy Koufax can go back and look at the data in real time and make that thing even nastier, or start to figure out some things. Who knows? Maybe this leads to the acknowledgement of like an arm angle situation, and the shoulder health now becomes something that you can start to pay attention to. All because of technology, right? Hey, let me introduce you to this Edgertronic. It's a camera that captures movement at such a high rate of speed that we can tell you where the index finger was. We can tell you the hand position. We can tell you how this ball is spinning, like on the axis, which axis. We can give you all this. And if you don't want it, that's fine, but it's available to you. And you would be ignorant to deny information available to you that could potentially upgrade you, right? It just doesn't make any sense why you would want to deny this information. And so I think it's a hesitation because there's an inherent level of ignorance. And there's also an inherent level of, well, you didn't fucking do this, so how could you ever know? And I think there's always a give and take that has to occur between the nerd group and the former player group, whatever it is, where you say, look, I know you didn't do it, but I know you understand the game, and I know you understand the numbers, and I can appreciate you trying to put all this together so that you can have the best feel for something that you didn't physically feel. And I don't know all the numbers. I want you to teach them to me because I can show you how movements and patterns and things start to create track records for me that I follow blindly. But now you have numbers to put to this kind of stuff. Fuck yeah. Let me get those. Let's talk about this. And like, that's the direction that we need to continue to go. And so I just wanted to make sure that that was understood, because this in no way, I'm not somebody who wants to use the internet to fucking bash somebody for not having a feel or whatever. This guy's brilliant. He's brilliant. I'm not telling him he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I'm telling him I appreciate everything he's talking about. The problem is this falls short. And there's other things that fall short too. You just got to be able to have that conversation without telling somebody that they're a fucking idiot. I think it's pretty simple to do. And I think this is a pretty good example.
Well, that was going to be my question to you, Dallas, is what was it like?
What like?
Having a disagreement with someone that wasn't combative for the first time in your life, like a civil discourse.
Well, I have those all the time. It's typically Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays that things don't go that way for me. But every other day of my life, I run into sane people who gather perspective, and that was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was.
Yeah, I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad it played out publicly so that people, at least know that side of you is possible. Wow. So that was great. I know Dallas was making suggestions about me and Roman Anthony and how I hurt myself. Just the time that we haven't seen each other
in that fucking laundry cart. We know what you were doing.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing that I was doing, Dallas, was putting money in people's pockets. Yeah, I was for actually last night. Last night was, well, we ran the promo for 2 straight nights. But last night was the night that folks were able to cash in because we were doing $500 in bonus entries for every hit that Roman Anthony had. He went over. He did smoke a line drive back up the middle in his debut, 111 off the bat, that ended up kicking to an infielder and turning into an out, which was bullshit. But last night had the 2-run double for his first big league hit. So folks were able to pocket $500 in bonus entries just for following Underdog and liking my video on Twitter. So we're going to be doing some more experimental posts like that, not limited to just the Red Sox. Obviously, I have a predominantly Red Sox audience on social media, and Roman Anthony's call-up was a very big deal. But Underdog is going to be trying to lock into like what's kind of like the storyline of the week or the day, and we might run multiple in a week. We just did back-to-back for Roman Anthony, so we're going to try to get more creative with it so that we can incentivize the folks that aren't already on and are already on the Underdog Fantasy app. And if you're not already on, which, what are we doing? Sign up with the promo code Jared. That's JARED, and you can get up to $1,000 in bonus credits and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. Congratulations to everyone who walked away with a nice little fluffy bonus last night, because Roman Anthony ended up with a RBI or two-run double last night to win it for the Sox.
Yeah, I'm being accused in my fantasy league of having inside information because I added Roman Anthony 2 days before his call up, and they're like, "You fucking knew this is bullshit. Who's adding fucking minor leaguers?" I don't fucking know anything that you don't know. That he should be in the big leagues at this point and is close to it.
If anyone from Dallas's fantasy league is watching or listening right now, I definitely didn't tip him off. He's always following
bullshit.
the rules. Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. They call him we have we have Justin Noble Havens and Dallas Integrity Braden on this podcast. That's just what we're about. That's just what we're about.
Initials Dib.
Mm-hmm.
Dib. Yeah.
Dib.
I got to tell you, side note,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of folks from the discourse want to know where they stand since they do wave the Justin Hussein flag at home. They want to know kind of where they set in the pantheon of discourse members. So shout out to Cameo for giving me the opportunity to let them know exactly where they stand.
Wow. Yeah. Head on over to Cameo, type in baseball is dead. You can dial up DB. You can get some spicy nugs from Jayhay. You got Jake doing God knows what on there. It's crazy because I mean, like the fact that Jake's price is set to 7.5 million and he still has gotten booked probably more than us combined is just speaks to the talent.
We're just not going to acknowledge it. I mean, Jake has essentially turned Cameo into his personal OnlyFans, and
yeah, more so
okay with it.
Yeah, he's like the Brecky Hill of Cameo for baseball podcasters.
Yes,
so.
It's getting wild.
Yeah,
who the fuck
gotta
is
respect
that?
the hustle. Who? What?
Who the fuck is Brecky Hill?
She's I don't even know how to describe her. I think she got big on TikTok and then she launched an OnlyFans. It's just tale as old as time.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyways, Jazz Chisholm is mad about something again, and I'm excited to talk about
out of
this.
Somebody.
That's
He's
what
about
he
to
said.
Slap the fuck out of somebody.
I mean, so this is a carryover from the postseason where you had Michael Garcia of the Kansas City Royals was it was kind of like they were kind of like mouthing off. Like Garcia was what he was talking shit and Jazz took exception. And then you had a play last night where Jazz Chisholm doubled, is sliding headfirst into third base on a separate play and said that Garcia tagged him too hard when really he exited the game with a neck injury because he slid into Garcia's fucking leg and his helmet like bent his head back. But then he made it about the tag. He left the game with a neck injury because he slid into Garcia. Like he hurt himself. And after the game, Garcia was like, yeah, I don't know. Like I'm just playing baseball. Like because Jazz was saying he tagged me too hard and he didn't even have the ball in his glove. Do you think that a third baseman has time to determine, like if they're receiving the baseball and slapping the tag down on a bang bang play, that they're like, oh, I don't have the baseball, so I'm not gonna apply the tag. It's just one motion. It's catch tag. Like we're talking about fractions of seconds here.
Stop it. He is fully aware of what happened. He plays infield. He's fully aware of what happened. Just stop it. Stop it altogether.
Also a good point.
Like even entertaining it, even going into this starts to give Jazz Chisholm an opening here, right? Like, oh, well, he could. Well, what? You ever watched Javi Baez put a fucking tag down at second base? You want to know what he's doing? He's letting the ball travel as far as it possibly can so it can do the dirty work, as opposed to going out and reaching for the ball, taking the glove and the baseball out of the tag zone. Not ideal. Not ideal. What are we looking to do? We're looking to let the ball travel as deep as we can, catch it at just the right moment so we can catch it and simultaneously do what, Jared? Apply the tag. Tag. Catch
all
and
one
tag.
motion.
Catch and
also, so this was not a quote that Jazz gave to the media. This was a lip reading job. But Jazz was saying to the third base coach, Luis Rojas, quote, I'm going to tell you one more time, if he tags me like that one more time, I'm going to smack the fuck out of him. And Garcia said, I'm waiting for it. It's just talk.
I mean, it just like to go back and watch the play. Like you said, Garcia is making a baseball play.
Letting the
He's
ball
covering
travel.
third, making a play. You slid into his knee, and you're angry about the tag. I wonder if Jazz will go back and look at the video and realize, oh shit, you know what happened? I hit his knee and that hurt. And then the tag came down like split second right after on my head. The helmet fell off. But ultimately it was me sliding into his knee.
It was my fault. I did this. I did this to myself.
So like if I play infield and he plays infield and we both know what we're trying to do with letting the ball travel to tag a runner, so it gets as close to the runner as possible, and then we catch it in the tag zone like we've talked about because we're infielders and we practice this literally every day, then I don't really have an argument there, do I? Fuck. So what does this boil down to? This boils down to me sliding into his knee and being unhappy about the feeling and eventually ended up leaving the game. So what are you angry about? It's bitter old blood that's bubbling up. Is that all it is? And if you want to take that moment to say some shit, like, I don't know.
This is where I'm at on Jazz. Am a big fan of Jazz. Dating back to his Marlins days, obviously, I didn't start liking him as a Yankee. Yes, there's Yankee bias. I don't like the Yankees, but from my perspective, it's almost like I love Jazz as a Marlin, and now he's in this big market, and I'm like excited. Oh, he's big market. Like now they can see what he can do. So yeah. I'm hoping he doesn't fuck this up. And he's bringing a lot of Verdugo to the Yankees, where I'm like, I mean, I it's almost like I want him to do poorly because I want the Yankees to lose, but I want Jazz to do well because I want him personally to succeed and thrive. But if you're a dude that's hitting 215 with 770 OPS is fine, whatever. Like it's a 114 OPS plus. So we're not talking about like a dude that is below league average. But he is hitting 215. Batting average still matters to me. He's mic'd up on Sunday Night Baseball, and he's fucking trying to do the Jeter spin move and throwing the ball into the camera well like Chuck Knobloch. Like you're trying to be this, larger than life personality. You're trying to be this tough guy, but you're not either of those things. Like he's not the guy on the Yankees. He's like he should be a very nice complementary player to what could be a championship team. But all this nonsense, like that, getting mad about a play that was your fault, talking trash before games and then losing, and then getting mic'd up and trying to be showy because you're mic'd up, but then throwing the ball into the camera well. Like these are all things that would irk me if I were a Yankee fan. So I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, no, look, when Jazz first, when we knew he was headed to New York, we were all, I think, thinking along the same lines. Like, this is an opportunity now for this dude to really
level up.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely,
yeah.
Man. I mean,
it's like already a good player, but now he's going to have like the spotlight, a big market, and a good team where he doesn't have to be the best player in the roster. So now he's going to be comfortable enough to be like, if I don't have to be the guy, now I can just be me. And then now we're going to unlock the next level of Jazz. We haven't seen that yet.
Now he becomes not the guy, because Aaron Judge will be that guy until he takes the pinstripes off. But you could have easily, or you were easily aligned to do that, to grow into the player that everybody is hoping he becomes. Yeah, it's just, look, at the end of the day, is he pissed off because, and like he said it, right? He said it, that it just feels like for him personally, like every time that there's been some back and forth or every time there's an issue whatsoever, Garcia is there. Garcia is a part of it. And so the frustration just mounts. Like in your head, if every time something goes awry or there's beef and it's this guy who you feel like is at the center of it, now here you are involved in a play, and it's a play where you eventually end up, not feeling great on the back end of it. You're looking for somebody to be responsible for it. And, rarely do we, in the heat of the battle, go, this was my fault, and I'm sorry about that. And you know what? You're just trying to make a play. And I totally get that right here in the heat of the moment. Carry on. That doesn't happen. Instead, what happens is you're pissed off. You tell somebody that you're going to smack them in the fucking face if this shit keeps happening. And that's kind of where they're at. Do you like it? No. Do you think it's going to happen? No. Is it just talk? Yes. So we'll see you at the ballpark today. And that's it.
Jayhay, you have not chimed in.
No, I agree. I mean, I think it was a guy who was looking for a reason to be mad at Garcia and thought he found a good enough reason and got mad about it when nothing happened. And I thought when I went to go rewatch the video that I would find something different on replay on the slow-mo, and you find nothing. So, just what it is.
Bitter.
But
That's
yeah,
all.
just bitter.
He is bitter. He is but in his defense, and maybe I'm reaching here.
Okay.
Some of these guys need to feel like they're out to get me, and like
Sure.
I need that adversary to juice myself up to reach that level of peak competitiveness. And I don't care. Like, perfect example, CC Sabathia. I would love to have him on to tell this story himself, but because I feel like I've only ever heard it secondhand, but it does make sense when you go back and watch some of the clips. He would pick someone out of every lineup and just imagine that they did something horrible to him so that he could be like, fuck that guy. And I remember for years, like Jackie Bradley Jr., good player, but like not the best hitter in the world. Like he'd be hitting like 224 with like a 720 OPS or whatever. And Sabathia would punch him out in the fourth inning and be like, fuck yeah, let's go. And I'm like, why is he so fired up to punch out JBJ here? And it's because Jackie was the guy that he picked out to be like, he like shot my dog. Like, fuck this guy. But that's what CC needed to create this edge for himself. And I mean, if it works, it works.
And I am here to tell you firsthand that shit works. Firsthand. There's a reason my personality today is so much different than it was as a player. And it's because I had that me against the world mentality. That was how I had to wake up in the morning on my start days. I just had to. And on my start day, instead of controlling the music like the starter typically gets to do if they want, over the clubhouse sound system, I would let other people do it because they were going to play some shit that was inevitably going to piss me off. Like, I don't want to hear this right now. I can't believe you think that this is the time to play this shit right now, right? And the idea is it's their clubhouse. They can play whatever the fuck they want. They were giving me the right to do it because I'm pitching, and I in turn said, no, you do it. And here's why. Because I want you to piss me off. I want you to fucking anger me so that I walk out there just fucking hating everything. Absolutely everything. And from there, I can do my job.
Yeah. I get it. So maybe that's what he's doing. But he'd already doubled by that point. Anyways, sometimes in life, you want to get the truth. You have to look at the numbers. Unfortunately, 50% of all dogs over 10 years old will die of cancer. And the other 40 to 50% suffer miserably from skin issues or joint problems. And this is widely attributed to your dog's diet. These numbers are what inspired Dr. Dennis Black to create Rough Greens. So here's the good news. With thousands of testimonials and 5-star reviews every month, Rough Greens is now the #1 all-natural dog supplement in America. They have helped millions of pups like Ace, my guy, stay active and be healthy, and your pup could be next. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens. Fetch a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. All you have to do is cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com and use the promo code BID. That's rough, RUFF greens.com, promo code BID. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. just add a scoop of rough greens. Look at that. Love that. What else do we got? I mean, I feel like those were like the heavy topics, like Dallas trying to bully, the statistics community. Roman Anthony's call up, we got that. The Denzel Clarke catch, we got that. The Jazz beef. Are we doing Family Feud today, Justin Havens?
Yes, indeed.
So there's also a huge announcement that we have to make in regards to the show. Massive. The fans have spoken and they want the solo Jayhay show. They want it. So originally what happened was Dallas has a commitment. I had a commitment, and I'm just telling you this for the first time, Jayhay. I no longer have that commitment.
Oh,
but
well,
but no.
no, come on.
But no. You're doing the solo show. That's what the fans want. That's what the fans are gonna get. I'm excited to just take a seat in the audience and be a fan on Thursday. That's what I'm gonna do.
I have booked some special guests.
Such any surprises, or you want to announce them, or?
I mean, they're friends of the pod. I didn't go outside of the circle of friends. I just tapped into my network a little bit for a little. Wanted to get some other voices because obviously I didn't actually think you were going to be here. So
I'm not here. I'm in the crowd.
Tim Kirkchin and Boog Shambi on the pod tomorrow.
Oh, that's going to be fucking great.
Yeah. So we'll spend 10-ish minutes with each guy. It'll be a very quick pod, about 30 minutes overall, 35 minutes. Nuggets, Boog on the Cubs, Tim doing some national stuff. And we'll wrap up with a little bit of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this pod. Boog's great. He's probably just excited to make an appearance on the pod that wasn't a spontaneous phone call.
Yeah, he's been given up like 72 hours. He's been given like 72 hours heads up. So, and we'll keep it to his wheelhouse and all that sort of stuff. Might debut a new segment with my brothers called Hard to Be Humble.
Yes.
We've got a lot of ideas in the kitchen right now. Yeah, but I'm excited that you're going to be in the audience. Although the offer still stands, obviously, to come back to your own podcast.
Nope. If you want me for the most I'll do is a 10-minute segment. If you want me as a guest, I'll come on as a guest.
I would like to do that because I'll reveal now that I attempted to book Tyler Milliken. And
honestly, no. If he can do it,
he cannot. He cannot
because it's Sports Hub.
Yep, he cannot do it during the window that we're available. So we'll try that in the future. But so it would be great to have you. If you have like 8 to 10 minutes, it would be great if you could pop on the podcast.
I'd love to be a guest on this episode.
Okay, all right, that's great. Yeah, that's great. So we got a full lineup. That's fantastic.
Yes, I was committed to an appointment that no longer exists. So I'm free to do 10 minutes on the Jayhay Variety Hour. I'm honored.
Jake, that works for you, right?
Yeah, we can sneak them in for 10 minutes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like hard out stuff, but yeah.
You tell me what time slot you need me, and I'll be there.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, we're gonna do it. The people spoke. Although I think some people misinterpreted, particularly some of the negative responses misinterpreted Connor's poll as an entire podcast line of my own. It's just one episode, folks. We're just talking about just Thursday, so you don't have to be worried about it. Some guy said, I stopped listening because of you. And I said, and he said, it's nothing personal. I just don't like listening to you talk baseball. I was like, oh, okay.
That's what personal means.
How is that not personal?
Yeah, that's super personal. That's about as personal gets.
Yeah. Anyway, we had fun yesterday.
I did want to point this out, though. In consistency with anytime that, I feel like we don't often focus on the negative if someone's struggling, but if it's like a big story in terms of how bad they're going, then we have to talk about it. Sandy Alcántara, I think through 11 starts, we had focused on him, and then the following start, he gave up 6 earned runs to make the ERA go up to 8.47. Well, I think it's only fair that since the month has turned to June, He's made 2 starts, 12 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, no home runs allowed, a 10-2 strikeouts to walks, and it's a 150 ERA and a 191 FIP. So I don't know, Justin Havens we can't say Sandy's back, but this seems like quite the opportune time for Sandy to be stringing together some really good starts where he's not walking guys. They're not, jumping off the page strikeout number. Even when he was awful, he was still had some starts where he was striking out 6 to 8 batters.
This falls right in line. This falls right in line with everything we were talking about, everything that we were hopefully anticipating. We were manifesting for Sandy, which is give him, who knows, 7 to 10 starts. He's got 2 under his belt now. Who knows what, 3 more maybe this month? And then 4 more maybe before he gets to the break. Or 3 more before he gets to the break. 8 starts, 8 to 10. If you can get that in you. And like I said, if Sandy's walking away from these next 8 starts with a 3.5 and the K to walk and the whip is, say the whip is 1-1. K to walk, 3-1. You like that? You good with that?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that, like.
Does that interest you if you're a fringe team that absolutely, put it like this. If you're the Dodgers.
Yeah.
If you're the Dodgers, are you not interested in this? Is this not something that you're going, look, we might be moving the goalpost here just to get Shohei involved. And I mean, whether you want to do that or not, that's a side conversation, but that's real. That's happening.
So I think what's interesting here is that going into the season, if he was doing this all year, you're talking a very hefty package to get Sandy. But it went from hefty package to get Sandy to no team is going to want to trade for this guy very clearly to, we'll trade for him, but you're not going to get what you were going to get before. So they're going to have those discussions of, well, he's fixed. So you are getting that guy that should require a hefty trade package. That's going to be the haggling that's going on if he is moved at the deadline. If he continues this, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, whatever.
Yeah, worth noting. Unless I blacked out, I don't think anybody remember or mentioned it. Rockies and Pirates were the 2 opponents. So love the trend.
Just,
love the trend. You may be proven right, but worth mentioning. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what else is worth mentioning?
Baseball teams with full rosters.
Are they using full rosters right now?
well, they have 26 places accounted.
Oh, I assume they were like operating down 5 or 6 men.
No.
Those are full complements.
These are teams
my bad.
At full strength. Yes.
All right.
Whoa!
Welcome back to a very special Wednesday edition of Feud. I'm your man, Justin Havens. You guys ready? Do you guys feel like thrown off a little bit because it's a Wednesday?
A little.
It almost feels like I blew a save last night, but I'm getting the save opportunity the next night. It's kind of just get right back on the horse.
Little quick turnaround.
Less time to think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I feel that.
Back in the mix.
Yep.
I believe it's Dallas first, Jared second. Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy. I'm not prepared.
You never are. It's okay.
That's
fair. Okay. Nice array of questions this week.
Okay.
Some real baseball nitty gritty, some just like, how you feeling? How you feeling, dog? All right, are you ready? This first question is one of the longest questions in baseball's Dead Family Feud history.
Uncle. Uncle.
I know. But here's the key, D. I'll tell you. Most of it is listening to a list of names at the end and picking one of them. Okay? So that's really what you need to focus on is once I start reading the names. Are you ready?
Yes.
If you need to finish something, go ahead.
Yeah, I do need to finish something real quick.
Okay, I could tell. I want you Don't need any ready-made excuses. Somebody was
All right.
texting me, traveling secretary or something,
Yeah,
even
well,
though I'm
that's
at home.
Exactly who I'm texting.
See, I know,
That's
man.
exactly
See,
who's
I know.
talking.
You and me, baby. Been a long time. All right, here we go. Question number 1. MLB.com did a Cy Young poll, and Scooble and Skeens were the overwhelming favorites at this point for the Cy Young Award 2025. Of the following players who finished in the top of their polling, who do you think has the best shot to actually win one of the Cy Young Awards this season? Here is the list. Max Fried, Garrett Crochet, Hunter Brown, Chris Bubich, Zach Wheeler, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Logan Webb, or Mackenzie Gore.
Max Fried, and
Thank you.
just one name.
Yeah, you just needed one.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rounded to the nearest whole number. What will Roman Anthony's 2025 wins above replacement total be at the end of the season? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever.
3.
Right now, if the season ended today, the wild card teams would be the Rays, the Jays, the Twins, the Phillies, the Giants, and the Padres. Okay. When the season actually ends, how many of those teams will be in the postseason in some way, shape, or form? Of those 6, I'm looking for a number.
Jays, Rays, Twins. Who else? Mets?
Jays, Rays, Twins, Phillies, Giants, Padres.
3. I wanted 4.
Oh boy. That was a long pause. I can't give it to you.
I know.
Question number 4. Name the winner of the 2023 Home Run Derby held at T-Mobile Park in Seattle.
Oh God. Pete Alonso. I have no fucking idea.
Question 5. If you had to choose between French toast, pancakes, or waffles, so you have 3 choices, which would you choose?
French toast. What the French toast?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Who won that derby?
Vlad Jr.
Yeah, it was not. Fuck. I always just have Vlad home run derby presence in Cleveland. That's just where my mind goes.
Well, let's keep it down now.
Oh.
Jared, how you feeling?
How is Dallas feeling? That's more so the question that I've got.
Dallas, how are you feeling before I reveal your number?
I feel all right.
Mm.
Not great. All right.
All right. Well, Jared, do you want to know what the number is, or do you want to play it out?
I want to know if he's over 100.
He is over 100.
Okay, that's all I want to know.
All right. Here we go.
I did not think I was going to get there.
Jared, the first question is very long. You're choosing from a list of names that I read at the end. Okay.
Yep.
You're choosing one name. Here we go. Out of 100 BID fans, here are the results. MLB.com did a Cy Young poll, and Scooble and Skeens were the overwhelming favorites at this point. Happened this week. Of the following players who finished in the top of their polling, who do you think has the best shot to actually win one of the Cy Young Awards this season? Here's the list. Max Fried, Garrett Crochet, Hunter Brown, Chris Bubich, Zach Wheeler, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Logan Webb, or Mackenzie Gore.
Garrett Crochet.
Rounded to the nearest whole number, what will Roman Anthony's 2025 wins above replacement total be by the end of the season?
The nearest whole number?
Correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever.
4.
Right now, if the season ended today, the wild card teams would be the Rays, the Blue Jays, the Twins, the Phillies, the Giants, the Padres. When the season actually ends, how many of those 6 teams will be in the postseason in some way, shape, or form?
4.
Question 4. Name the winner of the 2023 Home Run Derby held at T-Mobile Park in Seattle.
Was that not Julio Rodriguez?
I'll tell you right now, it was not. No.
Yeah. Great.
The question 5. If you had to choose between French toast, pancakes, or waffles, which would you choose?
Pancakes.
Thank you, sir.
It was Pete Alonso because I remember he was fucking partying out in the bars.
You know
after.
what, Jared? I can tell you that it wasn't Pete Alonso.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Different All-Star game then.
Yeah, definitely a different All-Star game. And the winner was the guy that we watched in Cleveland. Remember when he hit 2 balls in the air at the same time and almost
Vladdy,
fucking murdered a child? Yeah.
I don't remember Vladdy winning. I remember what fucking All-Star. They all blend together. There was an All-Star game where Pete Alonso won it and then like walked into this. Like there was maybe
Bar.
Yeah, like
4
30
people?
people there, and he just walked in wearing the fucking like
The
clock
homer chain?
Yeah, and we were like, "This is where you chose to party after winning the home run derby." Like,
Yeah, we're here. What are you doing?
Yeah.
All right, let's go through it.
I don't feel great about it, Jared.
Question
No?
1, Cy Young
No.
poll question. Won't read it all again. Dallas said Max Fried. That was the number 2 overall answer, 23 points.
I'm surprised Chris Sale was not an option. He's been he's got like a sub 2 since mid-April now.
He was in the article. He was in the other receiving votes section, which included like another 10 names. These were the top. This represented the top 5 in both leagues. The Jared said Garrett Crochet played to the home crowd this time. Was that a veteran move? It was the number 1 overall answer, 48 points. You guys are off to a hot start, 71 points on the first question. Yamamoto, Wheeler, Brown, Bubich, and Logan Webb rounded it out, which means that Mackenzie Gore, despite all those strikeouts, got no support in this question. Probably justifiably so on this list, but that's okay. Question 2, rounded to the nearest whole number. Roman Anthony's wins above replacement total by the end of the season. Dallas said 3. That'd be a nice, healthy number. That's the number 1 overall answer. 34 points. We're already up to 105 points. Jared said 4.
Jared's got this guy on a Hall of Fame trajectory early. You can tell by his right wrist.
Jared's trying to pump him up. That was the number 3 overall answer. That's another 20 points. So the most modest result yet, and yet you guys are up to 125 points through 2 questions. You need only 75 more points with a lot of meat left on that bone. Question 3, did I take it too easy on you? That's what we're going to be asking ourselves after this. Maybe. If the season ended today, how many of those wild card teams would make it? Dallas said 3 of the 6. That's the number 1 overall answer, 47 points.
Dallas Lee.
We're already up to 172. This could be one of those throwback games for the boys here. Jared said, he said 4 of the 6.
Good answer.
That's another 21 points. We're climbing. 193. It's all but inevitable at this point with 2 questions
you know what?
left.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Little 20-second here. A discourse. Go fuck yourself. We're doing this on 5 questions. 4 questions. Go fuck yourself. You take your home run derby question and beat it.
It would be a shame if I just totally misrepresented what the answers were now.
Right in line with your fucking
You'll never
insane
see
ability.
this slideshow that Corey puts together. I'll make sure you never see it. Question 4, name the winner of the 2023 Home Run Derby held at T-Mobile Park. A shockingly difficult question for an event that happened 2 years ago and has 1 winner. Yes.
This was, correct me if I'm wrong, this was the home run derby that Julio Rodriguez hit like 60 in a single round.
I don't know shit, man. I don't remember any home run derby really, unless I was physically at it.
I'm
looking at it.
99%.
Rodriguez hit 41 in round 1. Yes.
Okay. So the reason why I don't know the answer to this question is because of fucking Evan Drellick. So Evan Drellick was a friend of mine who he's the one that reported on like the Red Sox cheating and all that shit. And I fucking took a steel chair and stuck it right in his back and went full force, fuck Evan Drellick and all this shit defending the Red Sox. And in real life, it very clearly hurt our relationship to the fact where we did not speak. That was what, 2021, 2019? What year was that? 2019, I believe it was. We did not speak for 3 years, and we ran into each other at that home run derby. And he like looked at me and with this look of disgust. And then I forced the issue. I went right up to his table and sat the fuck down and we talked it out for like an hour plus. So that's why I have no idea who won this home run derby. I was there, but I only remember the show that Julio put on because that might have been the only part of it that I got to see.
Well, it was also by far the most memorable part of it. I mean, Vlad won it while putting up like the 4th, 5th, and 6th highest totals of any given round. So he just kind of meandered his way to victory.
He did enough.
I mean, he faced Mookie in round 1, who had the lowest total of anybody. And then he faced Julio in the semis, and Julio was obviously tired out from all those homers and maybe a little bit emotionally drained from that conversation with Drellick as well.
Yeah, well, I don't know how well that conversation worked because I don't even recall speaking to him again since then. And now it's almost been another 3 years since we spoke.
You guys sounds like you're probably just getting some things off your chest, and you may have left that thinking it was a conversation. And I
have no animosity towards Evan Drellick. Good dude. But if you come at the Red Sox that way, you know that that's it. Like the pain train is coming for you, and it's right here. It's right in this fist.
Evan, if you want to come on the chef's table tomorrow, just reach out.
We can get him on.
No, I'm just kidding. We got a pretty full slate already, but maybe next time. Name the winner of the 2023 Home Run Derby held at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Dallas said Pete Alonso and then paused for a really long time. Regretted the decision because he knew it wasn't Pete Alonso. Good for you guys, though, because a lot of other people thought it was Pete Alonso, too. The number one overall answer, 46 points. You guys zoom all the way up to 237.
Hold on. So Pete Alonso was the answer, but it's not the right answer.
Right, but that's not, as you know, that's not what matters in Feud. It's what's the most popular answer. So
yeah.
Oh, discourse. I've said it time and time again. The greatest collection of brilliant genius minds that we've stumbled across. Showing you why once again. Love them.
Did you say that? That's not
was Julio number 2
saying about them. No. Vlad was 2 at 18. Cal Raleigh, who did not participate in the Derby, was 3, and Julio finished 4th with 4 points. So that gets you, those two combined get you up to 243. And then the last question, which obviously was some
one more.
Well, yeah, with some baked in points. I tried to give you guys a softie at the end. Turns out you didn't need it. If you had to choose between French toast, pancakes, or waffles, there is a correct choice here, believe it or not. Which would you choose? Dallas went with the correct option, French toast, 36 points. That's the number one overall answer. Jared provided one of the other answers, which was pancakes. That's 31, the third most common of 3 answers, but you still get 31 points. So, 2. Wow, what a total we have here. You guys are living big. We have a grand total of 308 points.
Hit it again, Jake.
My. Yeah.
306.
Right now,
306.
That right there is just a panties to the side over the arm of the couch for the discourse. That's what that is right there.
Yeah.
Fucking come with it.
I feel like we should establish a new rule that anytime that we pass 300 points, we get to smack someone in the discourse in the face.
I like that. I feel like it's a
with
non-violent resolution.
With the glove.
Yeah.
Or
just like a pillow.
Yeah. Yeah. We get to hit someone in the head with a pillow from the discourse every time we pass 300 points.
No, like the I challenge you to a duel. That glove slap. Yeah. I like that. So discourse. Hey, you know what? If you're willing to make this happen, if you are willing to be the lamb, the sacrificial lamb, all right? If you're willing to be the sacrificial lamb,
there for them.
This is what I can do for you. I can get you passes. I can get you tickets to the ball game. I'll bring you down on the field. But I'm going to tell you right now, your ticket to entry onto the field, because I'll have the passes, but you ain't getting past that gate until I slap the piss right out you. All right? After that happens,
you are more than welcome. I will hand you the field passes. You can come and watch BP. So if there is a discourse sacrificial lamb in Kansas City that would like to catch these hands, please reach out and we will coordinate. And we
Imagine
will have
there's just
our
like
first...
a line of 20 fans just waiting to get smacked by Dallas Braden.
Yeah, you know what? I'll put it out there now. If there is a group of 4 discourse fans that are willing to catch these hands publicly at the K, we can arrange that. Reach out. We'll make it happen.
I like it. I like it.
And we might even do that it might even be a BID meta bitch slap. Like we might just, it might just be live on the glasses on the BID IG.
I like it.
We'll see. We're still working it out.
A meta bitch slap. Yeah, I mean, it is the metaphor. I mean, if we put up 300 points, like the discourse got bitch slapped. So
yeah.
It's got to translate to the real world now. Dallas, you got to run?
I do got to run. You guys are going to talk about it, I'm sure. Abbott, my God, slicing and dicing. Just put some respect on that CG shut piece. It was fucking ridiculous. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you, Dallas. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Yeah.
I'll be
the
listening
Jayhay
to the
Variety
Thursday
Show
episode of
tomorrow.
Jayhay.
Yeah.
The chef's table.
Yeah. The chef's table is taking place tomorrow. Very excited for that.
Dallas, I'll get you on the next one, man. No hard feelings.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm just excited to be included, you know?
Nah, it's cool that you carved out some time. I appreciate it.
No
Jake
problem.
and I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I'm just happy to be here. There was an update on Shohei Ohtani pitching.
There was.
Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers have been playing the long game when it comes to him being built up as a pitcher, but he has been accelerating in recent weeks. So much so that he built up to 3 simulated innings and 44 pitches Tuesday afternoon at Petco Park in his 3rd session facing hitters. Do we think we can see Ohtani returning as a pitcher before the All-Star break? Dave Roberts said there's a north of 0 chance. North of 0.
I'm going to go with it's still closer to 0 on that one. What I know that was the headline off of this is that he could return. It's not impossible for him to return before the All-Star break. I still think given the state of their situation in the standings and likely path to the postseason, I think we still wait to see it afterwards. He also said that they're going to exercise a great deal of patience here. And my biggest takeaway was 2 things. A, that this is progressing, because I think a month and a half ago, we talked about Ohtani and the conversation. I think we weren't totally serious, but it was like, is this pitching thing going to be a real thing moving forward? And this update, at least to me, suggests that we're very close and that they aren't messing around. This is really something that's going to happen. And the idea that they could use him in shorter bursts, which is something that we have talked about, they seemed open to that based on their comments and what his usage might be and stuff like that. So, I think it's exciting that we're on the verge of it, but I'm still kind of like holding back a level of excitement until it's live in the games, because I don't want to get too excited based off of, live BP and stuff like that.
No. And I also would hate to see, not that the Dodgers would do this, obviously, but I would hate to see Shohei brought back as some sort of like panic move, because.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. They are in a position not to panic, but they are desperate for pitching. I think that much of their story has been discussed ad nauseum. I think it's crazy how you've got a year where the Dodgers, again, they're playing damn near 600 ball and they have 2 teams right up their ass. The San Francisco Giants have won 6 straight baseball games. The Dodgers are fighting for their lives just to fight off 2 other teams within their own division, still playing 600 ball. The Padres kicked their ass last night. I saw Ben Verlander had a tweet about this, which, again, Ben, come on. Like he had a tweet about like Kike pitching with like the concussion helmet on, being like, yeah, it's funny when you're up, but having a position player pitch with the concussion helmet on when you're down, it's embarrassing. What if he just wanted to fucking protect his head? I don't know. Like, what if that's what he was doing? We don't know. Like, that's very presumptuous. But either way, the Padres, it was a statement game. They kicked the Dodgers' ass last night. I think it goes back to last October. The Dodgers acknowledging, hey, this was the best team that we played in the postseason on the way to a World Series title. Like, that was kind of the World Series for us, was playing the Padres. And here come the Padres, following up that dismissal from October at the hands of the Dodgers by hanging around. Not just like hanging around is not even painting the correct picture. They're right there. They're a game back of the Dodgers. Entering play today on this Wednesday, they're a game back. The Giants are a half game back. It's a packed division with teams that are playing very well, especially at home. You know what's interesting about this division race, Jayhay? The Dodgers, Giants, and Padres, all three teams have the exact same record on the road.
Did not know that.
17-17. All three teams are 17-17 on the road. So like that's been the difference in the division race. They're all playing great at home, but they're all exactly 500 on the road. If they could just play a little bit better on the road, that could decide the entire division, the NL West, for the entire year.
Well, and a big start from Cease last night too, because it wasn't that he was pitching like terribly, but like an ERA near 5 over his previous 11 starts, kind of more just like every time out was kind of and like tied, I believe, his career high for strikeouts last night. In, as you said, kind of a statement game, big matchup, and obviously he's important to any hopes they have of defeating the Dodgers in any short series moving forward. I just like, I know it gets brought up, you bring it up, all that, but like every time we talk about that Dodgers Padres series from the postseason last year, it feels like one of the great inflection points in recent baseball history, or what ifs or whatever. Given that it really seemed like the Dodgers were on the way out. They were out. And, the conversation that we would be having about this era of Dodgers baseball, Shohei Ohtani, Dave Roberts, if he even made it past losing in that sort of route, like all these sorts of things are just so, it is literally the polar opposite conversation that is being had about the remnants of the Dodgers if they don't win that series and go on to win the World Series. And it's just, sports is a beautiful, frustrating thing because it's incredible how narrow the margin is on things turning and legacies being built and the conversations that we have. And that series to me is a great example of that. And it's exciting that the Padres, to your point, have actually like persisted into this season when many people, myself included, thought that they would just kind of fade into the background and begin something of a rebuild while having many expensive contracts still in the books.
Yeah. And while the Dodgers-Padres rivalry is much sexier these days than the Dodgers-Giants rivalry, which is, I guess, more of a historical one, it's kind of like, I don't know, in like 2008 through 2011, the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry was more historical, but less relevant than Red Sox-Rays. Like that's kind of what we're looking at right now with Dodgers-Padres, Dodgers-Giants. But quite a notable injury. Matt Chapman goes on the injured list with the sprained right hand. He hurt it diving back into the bag the other night. And he's been a 3-win player through, I don't know, the second week of June. That's a big loss for the Giants, even though they're on a hot streak right now. How much do you think that impacts their chances to stay within the same pace of the Dodgers?
I mean, I think it matters. He's a very important piece of what they have going on. Probably goes without saying. I don't know that. I mean, he has been their best position player, offense, defense, total package on the season, and it's not necessarily all that close. So in that sense, I think it's a hugely impactful loss in terms of if they could lose, other than probably Logan Webb, he's the most impactful guy that they could lose. That being said, I just don't know that. It's very rare that an injury to one player swings a division race that substantially that we notice it like that. So I'm still pretty optimistic that this team can stay in the mix, and I think staying in the wild card mix overall is probably still needs to be. I know what they would say and what the front office would say. I still think if you gave the Giants truth serum, if you guaranteed them a wild card spot, that they would take that and be happy with it, quote unquote. Yeah. But yeah, it's an unfortunate injury. He was having one of his more well-rounded seasons offensively and defensively in a little while. But just to go back to what you said before about the rivalry thing and Giants Padres, did you see Max Muncy's comments about that?
No, what did he say?
I don't remember the program that he was a guest on, but he had made a comment about how you can only have one rival at a time. It's not like you have your rivals with 3 or 4 teams. You have one rival, and to him, that is the Giants. And
really,
I just thought that was kind of interesting because I thought about it and I was like, well, why would he bother caring about the Giants, who more or less haven't threatened the Dodgers in any consistent way in a long time? And then I thought about it a little bit more and I was like, Muncy's on like he debuted with the Dodgers. What was it in 17? I want to say 18. 18 was his first season at the major league level with the Dodgers. And at that point, the Dodgers really hadn't, like, we were still kind of operating in the afterglow of the 3 titles for the Giants. And I think the narrative on the Dodgers was lots of regular season wins, haven't accomplished anything of note in the postseason that really matters. And they had lost the World Series in 17 the year before. Muncy becomes a big part of the team in 18. And like, I don't know, from his perspective, I could sort of see that, like, they're the traditional rival, more so than the Padres. They're the team that has won the World Series. And if you're Max Muncy, you're like, what the fuck have the Padres won since I've been here? You know what I mean? Like, what have they won? Why are they our rival? We have 2 World Series. They have 0. We have all the division titles. Basically, they have 0.
0.
I think, 0.
Yeah.
It was the Giants that won in 21.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like they have 0. So like, okay. Like to us, we can acknowledge that rivals can exist and be asymmetrical like that. Like the Red Sox and Yankees had a relationship like that for a long time. But from Muncy's perspective, I kind of get it. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting since you brought it up.
I have to make an executive decision here, Jayhay.
Okay.
And on behalf of Baseball is Dead.
Yeah.
And more so your day to day.
Okay.
I'm taking accountability here.
Mm.
Today was supposed to be a Baines Meter day.
Yeah.
But you, Justin Havens, you put the Baines Meter at the bottom of the rundown because you're humble, because you don't want to put yourself first, because you want to spotlight everyone else but yourself. But let me tell you right now, if it's a Baines Meter day, executive order, that is item number 1 on the rundown from here on out, forever.
Understood, sir.
If it is a Baines Meter day, that is topic number 1. That is lead off. That is non-negotiable from now until forever.
All right, I understand. You understand my motivations correctly, but I get it. We'll adjust moving forward.
You have my blessing that this is the first thing that appears on every BID if it's a Baines Meter day.
Oh, he did it, man. He did it. This one's a special one because, I mean, he's a legitimately generational player, and he did it right after Carlos Santana, who is at the end of his career. Juan Soto's still at the beginning of it. That's right. Juan Soto reached the historic marker, 38.8, 38.9 in 1,001 games played. That's just 35% of the games played and fewer than 40% of the plate appearances, as Harold himself took to get to that marker. At 26 years old, Juan Soto is the youngest player by age to cross the Baines line since Mike Trout in 2016. So it has been damn near 9 years since we saw something this special. Soto turned it on when he got close. We were talking about how he was slumping, Jared. Once he sniffed it, he went 364, .553, .697 was his triple slash. That's a .553 on base percentage, folks, over his final 10 games leading up to passing the line. He's the third player to join Club 38.8 this season, along with the aforementioned Matt Chapman and Carlos Santana, and the 13th since the start of the 23 season, the modern era of the Baines Meter. It was why the Mets signed him to the richest contract in sports history. And we're talking about pivotal moments in baseball, sliding doors moments. You have to wonder what the hell the New York Yankees were thinking when they let, 50, 75, $100 million come between them and bringing back Juan Soto for this historic moment, because we all knew it was happening. The Mets get it. The Mets are smart. Juan Soto, congratulations. One of the youngest all-time players to cross the Baines line, and I'm sure a day that made Harold himself proud. Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one.
It's huge. It's very big.
I mean, in terms of like name value to cross the Baines line since we've been doing it, I mean, he's probably behind only Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani.
Did Bryce Harper cross and get a ceremony?
Not since 23. I kind of consider that. It was back in the day when it was a little bit more informal, and then I rejoined and it kind of became a thing again. But yeah, Jason Hayward was the first one of the modern era back on April 6th, 2023. Hayward. Era. Yeah, that's right. Hayward, Marte, Judge, Lindor, Yelich, Semien, Garrett Cole, Xander Bogaerts, Ohtani, Bregman, Chapman, Santana, Soto.
Beautiful. It's always a special day. I wish it was at the top, Jayhay. That's on me, because I saw the clip yesterday. I shared it, retweeted it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Celebrated it yesterday, and then it slipped my mind this morning. Last thing from me, Craig Kimbrel, the way that the Braves handled that situation felt very slimy. For anyone who doesn't know, I know we have a lot of Braves fans that listen to Baseball is Dead. Craig Kimbrel was a Braves legend, came up with the Braves, was one of the best relievers of all time at his peak with the Braves. Has since had many a stop since his Braves tenure, but returned on a minor league deal, was down in the minors for quite some time, trying to work his way back to the big leagues, and appeared in a game for Atlanta. And yeah, the velocity wasn't super great, but was designated for assignment immediately after and just discarded. It felt very shitty for a franchise icon to be treated as such. You're stashed away down in the minors for 2-3 months, and to get called up for one game and designated for assignment immediately after the game. I get that, you need the roster spot, whatever, but the way that it was handled just felt very shitty, and not the way that you treat a guy that has the resume that Kimbrel has, not just in the big leagues, but with your franchise as well. But all that to say that he did sign a minor league deal with the Texas Rangers to hopefully join their big league roster at some point soon. But yeah, I big thumbs down to the Braves and the way they handled that.
I got to be honest, like I went kind of like crowdsourcing when I saw that news for like people that follow me or like fans that follow, not fans of me, but fans of the Braves that follow me, or people or reporters that I follow that cover the Braves, because I was looking for some sort of explanation that made this something other than what you're talking about, like just a slimy transaction. Because I was like, what the hell was the point of all of that? Like, what is the point of making, like, again, there are different expectations and different standards based on what you've accomplished in the game. Dallas would be the first person to tell you that if he was still around on this episode, but like that they made him slog through 2 months. And it's not like he came up and got his ass kicked.
No,
like it was a scoreless inning, and I get it. The velocity wasn't there. Okay. You probably had some idea that the velocity wasn't there before you called him up. Sure. It's not like It's not like they don't have technology at AAA. I just, but to go back to my previous point, every single person that I found fan of the Braves echoed this sentiment and was like, this feels shitty. And it's like, I know the Braves have made a habit of bringing back former players. It feels like they sign Eddie Rosario like every other season. And like, that's fine. Like, he comes up, he fills a role, he gets designated, whatever. But like, again, to your point, it is Craig Kimbrel. And I know I've been critical of his like Hall of Fame candidacy and whether that is something, but that's not really what this is about. He is a Braves legend. And based on the reporting that I saw, it was not well received within the Braves clubhouse either. So this isn't us making like the proverbial mountain out of a molehill here. This is like, there were people in the Braves team that did not feel like this was the appropriate way to have handled a guy that they all know is a franchise legend. So I don't know, man. Like, I think that sucks. And I think, not totally unrelated to this, I think at some point we should probably have a conversation of like a recalibration of what we expect of the Braves moving forward this season or in the medium term, because like, I think the last time we really, really talked about the Braves, I think the general expectation on this podcast was, well, they're just going to get back into it, right? It was a slow start, but they'll figure it out. And like, through a combination of the Mets' outstanding play of themselves and the fact that I think we're now on something like almost 200 games worth of 500 baseball for the Atlanta Braves, you have to start wondering whether that incredibly potent offense that we saw a couple of years ago is ever coming back, and whether this team might just really be the third or whatever-ish best team in its own division.
Yeah, it seems to me like they just, I don't know, stumbled out of the gate and weren't able to fully recover. There was that year, the year that they won the World Series. I forget where they were like, what, 6 games under? I forget it, whatever it was. They were X amount of games under 500 and it was late into the year. And then they, were able to rally and make it to the World Series. But that can't be the common practice. Usually if you're not doing well this late into the season, it tends to stay that way. But
no, and sorry, I mean, I know we're now doing a whole thing, but like, do you really think like the offense is still that offense? Like, because to me, like, I look at the names and the people that are participating, and I don't see how they can turn that around, particularly when you hear the reporting about like Marcell Ozuna's relative level of health and that he might have a hip thing going on. And it's like, okay, well, that would make sense why his slugging percentage is .423 this season. And maybe we shouldn't expect that to get back to, the damn near 600 or whatever that he's been slugging at his best with the Braves. And, Austin Riley and Matt Olson have not been the same offensive forces that they were 2 years ago now for a little bit of time. You know what I mean? So this just might be a fundamentally different offense than the one we kind of, assumed would be around for a half-decade run, and it was set up for a greatness. And Michael Harris, another guy who's might just kind of be bad.
We were warned about that in spring training, though, by Lawrence Butler.
Lawrence Butler was all over that. He said slow and fat, I think. I don't remember it. Did he say bad, too? Because Michael Harris has just been bad. It was implied. Yeah. Credit Lawrence Butler for that one. But yeah, anyway, bad vibes for the Braves.
Yeah. Anything else you want to hit on / final thoughts / Nuggs?
I got a few Nuggs. Okay. I do want to pay off what Dallas asked for earlier. Andrew Abbott, 1.87 ERA coming off of his shutout complete game. Lowest by a Reds left-handed pitcher through the first 11 outings of a season in over a century. April 14th, 1920 was the last time that somebody started a season with a lower ERA for the Reds from the left side. A guy named Dutch Ruther.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a classic old name, Dutch. Mackenzie Gore now has 114 strikeouts through 14 starts. The only left-handed pitchers aged 26 or younger with more strikeouts than that through the first 14 starts of a season in NL history. Clayton Kershaw in 2014, Sandy Koufax in 1962. And lastly, because tomorrow will be a very heavy Nug episode, as you probably anticipate, Max Fried, first AL pitcher with an ERA of 1.85 or below through the first 14 starts since Shane McClanahan in 2022, and the first with an ERA that low and 9+ wins since Clay Buchholz in 2013, and the first non-Red Sox pitcher to have an ERA that low and 9 or more wins since Cal Eldred in 1992. You probably didn't see it because a lot of stuff on your timeline, but I was looking at that 1.85 ERA and 9+ wins in the wild card era stat earlier because Fried's on it.
Yep.
I had the only other instances were Red Sox pitchers.
Pedro.
It was Wakefield, Pedro, Derek Lowe, and Clay Buchholz. Those were the only people who had ever done that in the wild card era, and now Fried is the fifth. So
interesting.
Nice little combination. I mean, that's a lot about the Red Sox having a great offense, and when they get a great pitcher, that person's going to get some wins, right?
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah.
At least that era.
Sounds like someone should buy some tickets to go see Max Fried pitch.
How would they do that? What's the best way?
The best way to do that is with the Game Time app, and Game Time makes getting tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer that it gets the first pitch. They have killer last-minute deals, views from your seats, and the lowest price guarantee. I will be there Saturday. Jake, you going this weekend at all?
I got Section 10 tickets Friday night, and I'm going Saturday.
Hell yeah. Love to see that. Gonna dial up the Game Time app to get tickets to Red Sox Yankees this weekend. Last minute deals. Save up to 60% off buying last minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Save even more when you choose a section and you let Game Time choose the seats for you. You can know your total upfront. The fees are included. No surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. The lowest price guarantee, your Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. The Game Time ticket coverage, your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code BID for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the promo code BID for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Did you have a final thought, Jayhay?
Nope. Just I'm going to a minor league baseball game tonight.
Oh, which one?
Hartford Yard Goats.
Yeah, the Yard Goats. Great marketing team. Yeah.
Yes. They have really made that something since they took that over and the Yard Goats became a thing, and I'm excited. I have been before, but I have not been in a long time, and this is the first one I'll take my daughter to, so I'm going with 3 generations of Havens will be at the Yard Goats tonight. My dad, my wife, and my daughter. And myself.
Love that.
Yep.
Love that. Savor the memories, Jayhay.
We will.
Goes by quick, Dude,
I mean, in a blink of an eye, you had teenagers.
That's what I'm saying. 1 second, they're 2-3 years old. The next second, they're getting their license. Cherish the memories, Jayhay. Jake,
I'm just going to carry my daughter around forever.
Pictures, a lot of pictures, by the way. Take pictures.
Okay, I will. Good recommendation.
Jake's takes.
I'm seeing the Yankees are slated to start 3 straight lefties this weekend, which is great news for Jared's wrist. There's a little light at the end of the tunnel there. Should get some rest and recovery.
Thank you, Jake. Appreciate you a lot. The Jayhay solo podcast is tomorrow. Very excited for that. Very honored, flattered to be considered for a guest on the program. You can let me know what my time slot is. I'll be there. No questions asked, ready to roll. So be able to tune in for that. So we'll see you guys, or Jayhay will see you guys tomorrow. And we're looking forward to it. See you then.
We gone.